Grab your earplugs, Wargamers, because today it's time for the 100th episode, Extravaganza. Right now I'm working on the terrain. This is the last piece of my 2mm Imaginations mega campaign, featuring the Tony Bath style of campaigning. As you can see, we've got some lovely forests. I've got some additional troops down here. These are going to be my militia / imperial troops, who will ride to the aid of certain countries and others not. Bunch of churches. I like churches. And then I got a boat and a lighthouse, just because boats and lighthouses are cool. Most of these, the larger ones are Pico armor. The smaller ones, like these little guys, these little camps, are from Irregular Miniatures. What do you call these things? The hedges here, the hedgerows. Those come from Irregular Miniatures, the little village with a bridge over the stream. That's going to be Irregular Miniatures. The really nice bridges are from Pico Armor, and all of these forests are also going to be from Irregular. Fantastic little miniatures. And of course, you've seen some of the other countries. Here's our cavalry. As you can see, I'm still painting. Here's our infantry and some more infantry. And look at that cute little boat. Who doesn't like a good sailboat? I don't know. We may use that for objectives. I've got a little hill here. It looks like a volcano. That's the burned out remnants of a basement, I think. And then, of course, as you can see, I'm still kind of painting it. So I just want to show you guys. This is also my opportunity to do a face reveal. I've been promising this for a while. Here's my workstation. As you can see where the paint is. It's just there in the kitchen. Nothing fancy. You've seen it before. You'll see it again the next time we do a little painting alone together. But, as you can hear, I've got some friends that I think it's probably worth showing you after a while. This is Gunther. And he's a bit of a rebel, bit of a loner. Yeah, we got some backyard chickens. Look at that handsome boy. He's not going to say anything now because we're looking at him. But he's the guy you hear popping off in the background all the time. He's not the only rooster I got either. This here is our little backyard chicken hutch. Sometimes you'll hear this guy going off, and of course, we live out on the prairie, so there's a bunch of wild roosters out there popping off. I'm surrounded by Filipinos. They like their roosters for a variety of reasons. There's old Haggard right back there. See that big boy? I don't even know what kind of rooster he is. Anyway, I thought you guys might want to know what all that racket and ruckus is in the background. However, we're not done. And here they are enjoying a little outside time in the chicken run. Now, honestly, you only need one rooster, but the clutch of baby chicks that we bought had a spare rooster. Hey, sometimes life throws you that kind of curveball, and you just make do with the best you can with what you got. We had two birds that we'd had long enough to have grown attached to them, and we're not just going to make mincemeat out on one of them because he's a spare. We just kind of keep him in the front as an extra watchdog to keep the wild roosters at bay. In the meantime, he keeps the ladies in check. These colorful fellas are the murder birds. Yeah, they don't like me very much. Whoa. Ouch, ouch. So we're not going to talk about them. Sun conures. There we go. Hey, relax. Those are sun conures. You can hear them in the background still. They don't like me very much. That's why I call them the murder birds. This happy little fella is Archie. He's a lovebird, and he's got the friendly little peekaboo cheep. Let's take a break from the birds for a minute to take a look at the game shelf. I have a couple of odds and ends up here, a couple of car stuff for, what do you call that game? The Gaslands. And then I've got a deck of cards that I made myself for the upcoming Tony Bath campaign that we're going to be doing. There's what the back looks like. And then, what does this one say? It says, no event. Isn't that exciting? But some of these have game-changing rules in them. There's one that says, Stout Horse, choose one headquarter and upgrade its movement by 1 inch. That is going to be fantastic for whoever draws that card, if anyone. As far as my game shelf is concerned, I have kind of an eclectic mix. I've got some old-school Dungeons & Dragons stuff. I've got some oddballs that I just picked up on a whim. Not going to lie to you, a friend of mine published this, and he's a good friend, so I picked it up. The old creature catalog for Dungeons & Dragons sliding on through here. We've got some wonderful books by by one of the best-looking authors out there, a fellow by the name of John Mollison. This is a post-apocalyptic book, A Moon Full of Stars. It's available on Amazon.com. I highly recommend you pick it up. He's a great guy, very handsome, one of the best wargamers I've ever met. Of course, one-hour war games, we've seen a lot of those. What else we have in here? These are mostly comic books. Again, Gun Ghoul. I'm not a comic book guy, but I picked that up. Fantastic little title. A couple of hardcovers of the old BX rules. I used to be a BX guy. That's probably my game of choice, but I'm slowly being recruited into the League of AD&D. And then a bunch of games that you've already seen me play. Everything from, well, you haven't seen Rogue. We'll get to this eventually. I don't think Rogue Stars works all that well for what it is. Just way too many dice to roll. And then Black Ops, I'm really looking forward to giving this a shot. This is a fantastic, probably the best modern shooter game. You've seen On Guard. Here's another modern shooter game. I just don't think it works great for modern shooters. So we'll show you how well it doesn't work. It's essentially the same game as this wonderful title, but upgraded for modern combat. And like I said, I just don't think it works as well. You know, on the flip side, you've got a system like the Goal system, which is fantastic for space opera, science fiction. But it seems there's just a little too much to it for the Dungeon Delves. It's the same core game. I'm not sure it works so great, but we're gonna try it. We'll put that together. Maybe 2021. That's what I'm hoping for. I have, oh geez. Don't tell any of the 5th edition D&D guys that I've been busting their chops. I actually have a copy of that. It was a present from a friend. What do you expect? I'm a very loyal guy. What else we got here? 5 core. We're going to be looking at that in January. We're going to run the second season of The Adventure of the Black Raven. I do have Tomorrow's War. I got enough figures, but it's a little too complicated. There's something about it. The Force on Force stuff. It's a lot like AD&D. You really need somebody that knows how to play the game to show you how to play, and then you can get into the depths. Hardcover, gorgeous book. I do really like the company that publishes this. I think this is an Osprey title. No. You know what? Let's take a look. It says right there, Ambush Alley Games. I really wish I would have picked up Force on Force when it was available and not too expensive. I think that's a fantastic modern game, but, you know, I'm a little tapped out with genres right now. We'll get to that. More Song of Blades and Heroes. And then down here, just some classic stuff. Oh, more books? What is this? More books by that handsome fella, John Mollison. What is this, Barbarian Emperor? That sounds kind of like a Conan thing. Oh, it's got hot babes on the cover. What's not to love? That's also available at Amazon.com if you want to give a good guy some support. He's also got some, what would you call that? Some Tech Noir, Neon Harvest. Good stuff. What else do we got? Wargaming on a Budget. Great book. I have the sequel to this, kind of. Henry Hyde is, that's Ian Dickey, excuse me. I have a Henry Hyde book coming out that's very similar to this. And then some oddballs, What Happened at Wyvern Rock. We'll have to get to that. That's more D&D. Secrets of the Nether City. Again, that's kind of an OSR D&D thing. Paranoia, one of the best games ever written. Just an absolute hoot to play. GURPS supplements. GURPS itself never really appealed to me, but there's so much good stuff in this, from post-apocalyptic to atomic horror. Very underserved genre. I love it. The old bug-eyed monsters. And, of course, you know, you can't be the kind of guy that writes a book like this if you're not a fan of this. Oh, just the best. Conan, Robert E. Howard is really the American master when it comes to literature. Doesn't get enough credit. And then Rogue Planet, which I don't think we've played that yet. We got to get to that. That's a fun little one. I got Owls in the Wait, what is that? That's the kids' book. I got kids. What are you going to do? Star Smuggler, one of the best science fiction. This is as close as you can get to Solo Traveler as you're likely to find. Download a copy of this. It's available at Dwarf Star Games? Dark Star Games? I don't know. I'll try to throw a link in the description. Fantastic little solo star smuggling game. I went ahead and printed, I made a copy of AK-47 Republic. My copy of this got damaged in a flood, so I have a copy of that. And then this is probably one of the best Games Workshop games ever done, Necromunda. I play Necromunda in 15mm. It's a lot of fun. And, of course, a couple of others. You know, Delta Green's not a bad one. Feng Shui. I need to get rid of that. It's not as good as I remember. D20 Call of Cthulhu. Cthulhu's great. This is the one right here. Call of Cthulhu. Fantastic role-playing game. kind of outside of the role-playing cycle right now. Maybe someday I'll get back into it, but you guys are just, you're giving me way too much incentive to keep up with it, with the miniature war games. So that's what we're going to be doing for a good long. Sora here is a little bit bashful. He is a green chic conure. And I should probably explain why we have so many birds. We actually foster these little fellas. Somebody has to give their bird up for any reason. We hang on to him for a while until we can find him a good home. Sora's a nice guy, but we're going to leave him in because he's feeling a little chippy today. And this happy fellow is the guy whose call you'll recognize. This is Prozac. And Prozac is an African gray. And when you hear words, time for bed. Time for bed. So he's trying to lick me because he's a lover. That's Prozac chattering away. When he wants a little attention, he'll start piping. Sometimes he sounds like a truck backing up. Boop, 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 boop. But he's not going to do it right now because we're actually saying hi to him. He only talks when he's being neglected. And with that, finally, we just have one last bird. You can already hear him. And here we have the belle of the ball, Little Miss Biscotti. She's my good buddy, a present from my oldest daughter on my birthday. She's been with us for a little while now. We'll give her little head scratches. Don't you bite me. I'm trying to show people how fun you are. She really wants to be a wargamer herself. Every time I start recording, she decides it's time for her to talk too. Now, she won't talk now because she's getting lots of attention. She only talks when she wants you to pay attention to her, and now she's being a little bashful. It's okay. She's the camera, sweetheart. She's a red-tailed African gray, and she does talk. She says hello. You've heard her from time to time. And she says a lot of, she kind of mutters to herself, you know, as all the best girls do. And now let's take a look at the total collection. Everything that one man needs to do fantasy, science fiction, historical, post-apocalyptic, modern, all of it fits on a little shelf about this big. This is most everything that I have for miniature wargaming. I've got a little box about yay size that has all of my 2mm grand tactical and strategic wargame in it. But otherwise, I've got a modern day city suitable for riots. I've got terrain, fantasy, science fiction, a little bit more fantasy terrain, couple of mountains. There's your Astra Tortuga. Get ready for that when we do more Adventures of the Black Raven. And then my 6mm. Oh, there's dungeon terrain. That's right. I have a little dungeon that's squirreled away. But other than that, in my little workshop. But, you know, this is only about 4 feet high. Everything you need to wargame for the rest of your life is right here. All you have to do is stop chasing the new hotness and dedicate yourself to picking a few games and mastering them. Don't play a game 3 times and then immediately move on to the next thing. Don't ride that treadmill. It leads nowhere. 2021, we're going to be doing 5 or 6 different games, but we're not going to be looking at them as one-offs. We're going to really delve into them, get into the guts of what makes them tick, and we're going to try to become experts at those games. And I'm not the guy to do that on his own. I'll have some discoveries, but you guys are going to come not along for the ride. You're riding shotgun, and you're going to protect me from my own mistakes, all right? Really looking forward to 2021. It's going to be fantastic. So there you have it. Little walk through my game shelf, both the books and the logistics. A look at all of the loudmouths who like to be a part of the Joy of Wargaming, including this handsome devil right here, this pretty little girl, Biscotti. Really doesn't want to share me with you, but that's okay. We're going to make her do that because she needs to. So there's your face reveal. I know you were probably expecting to see what I look like, but frankly, the Joy of Wargaming is not about me. I'm not looking to brand myself. I'm not looking to make any kind of a career out of this. This is a hobby. I enjoy it. I am passionate about it. And I know you are too. And I know that together we are smarter than any of us alone. And I need your help. I need you guys correcting me when I'm doing rules wrong. I need you guys pointing out when I have incorrect references. Hey, that wasn't General Grant, that was General Meade. Oh, thank you for telling me that. I know more now. I'm a smarter person. I'm a better wargamer. I really appreciate it, guys. Just can't say that enough. I'm going to knock off for a few weeks. I'm going to enjoy the holidays with my family. take care of them, and then, as I said, starting in January, we're going to try to get back onto a much more regular schedule of every other day doing some kind of wargaming activity, whether it's gaming or rule reviews or painting alone together. We're going to have a blast. What? Okay, I guess we're done now. I guess we're done. So remember, guys, as we close out 2020 and as we roll into 2021, bigger, faster, stronger than ever, I'm praying for you.